Hello guys, today we will discuss about mucormycosis. Zygomycosis or mucormycosis represents group of life-threatening, invasive, opportunistic fungal infections caused by accepted fungi belonging to the phylum Zygomycetes, which includes Rhizopus, Mucor, and Apsidia. It is a non-septate or accepted fungi. In comparison, Aspergillus have septate hyphae. If you see the hyphae here, there is no septate division. These are typically at 90-degree angles. People get mucormycosis through contact with fungal spores in the environment or by inhalation of the spores from the air. Now let's discuss about the predisposing factors. Agents of mucormycosis require iron as growth factor. Hence, conditions with increased iron load are at higher risk of developing invasive mucormycosis, such as diabetic ketoacidosis, which is the most important risk factor, then end-stage renal disease, then patient taking iron therapy or iron chelator, then defects in phagocytic functions like neutropenia or steroid therapy. One more important point you should remember that mucormycosis mainly occurs in immunocompromised patients or people who are taking immunosuppressant medications. Now, clinical manifestations. Agents of mucormycosis are angioinvasive in nature, and there are 6 types of clinical presentations. The first one is rhinocerebral mucormycosis, which is the most common form, and patient may experience nasal obstruction, bloody nasal discharge, facial pain, or headache. It can also present with orbital cellulitis, proptosis, and vision loss. Facial paralysis is often present due to cranial nerve involvement. If the condition remains untreated, you can see ulcer with a typical black necrotic appearance. It is a clinical diagnostic point, so keep this in mind. Now next is pulmonary mucormycosis, which is the second most common form, and it occurs in patients with leukemia. Then cutaneous mucormycosis, then gastrointestinal mucormycosis, such as necrotizing enterocolitis, which is seen commonly in premature neonates. Then disseminated mucormycosis, and here brain is the most common site for dissemination. Then miscellaneous forms, which may involve any body site including bones, trachea, and kidney. So now let's discuss about the laboratory findings. Histopathological staining of tissue biopsies show broad accepted hyaline hyphae with wide angle branching. Culture on SDA at 25 degrees centigrade reveals cotton woolly colonies which are initially white and later becomes brown-black due to sporulation. It gives rise to a salt and pepper appearance. Now let's discuss about the treatment. Amphotericin B remains the drug of choice for all forms of mucormycosis except the mild localized skin lesion in immunocompetent patients, which can be removed surgically. Other antifungal used are posaconazole or isavuconazole. Often mucormycosis requires surgery to cut away the infected tissue. That's all for today. If you like this video, please don't forget to subscribe our channel and press the bell icon for future updates.